Hey friends, today, I want to share a new chapter of my life with you. I hope you enjoy it. I'm Emma, and my journey begins with a bold step into Nexus Solutions. The first day at any new job is a mix of excitement and nerves, and mine was no exception. The office was alive with the sound of typing, ringing phones, and snippets of laughter. The smell of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, blending with the promise of new beginnings. During the morning huddle, Marcus, my team lead, introduced me. "This is Emma," he said with a confident grin. "She's joining us on the design team for the new app launch. Let's make her feel welcome." Among the sea of faces, one person immediately stood out, Jaden. He exuded an effortless confidence, and when our eyes met, his smile made me feel right at home. "Welcome to the chaos," he said with a wink as we shook hands. "Excited to see what you can bring." There was something magnetic about him, a mix of comfort and excitement that I hadn't expected. As the weeks went by, Jaden and I found ourselves staying late, refining mock-ups, and discussing user experience theories. Our professional relationship soon blossomed into a real friendship. We discovered a shared love for indie films, street photography, and kayaking, things that made the long workdays feel less like work. One Thursday afternoon, as I was packing up to leave, my phone buzzed. It was Valerie, my college roommate. "Emma, you won't believe it, I got tickets to that rooftop jazz event this weekend. Double date? I'm seeing this amazing guy, and it'll be so fun." I glanced at the last text from my boyfriend Nate, which was full of complaints about his day. We'd been growing apart lately, and our conversations had become increasingly shallow. I thought maybe this night would help reconnect us. "Sounds great," I replied, trying to sound more enthusiastic than I felt. Little did I know, that night would change everything. The evening was perfect, clear skies, a gentle breeze, and the sound of a saxophone floating in the air. I met Nate at the subway station, but he barely looked up from his phone when I arrived. As we walked to the venue, I spotted Valerie waving, with Jaden standing beside her, looking completely different outside the office. "Jaden?" I asked, surprised. "Emma?" he replied, equally shocked. "What are the odds?" Valerie, looking between us, raised an eyebrow. "You two know each other?" Jaden chuckled. "We work together at Nexus. Small world, huh?" Nate glanced up, mildly interested. "Huh, weird coincidence," he muttered before returning to his phone. The night unfolded in unexpected ways. We enjoyed craft cocktails under twinkling lights, swayed to the jazz, and shared stories that had us laughing until our sides ached. Jaden and I owned the impromptu dance floor, our teamwork at the office translating into seamless rhythm. Meanwhile, Nate remained distracted, occasionally commenting negatively about the music. Later, as the night wound down, Valerie pulled me aside. "Emma, what's going on with you and Nate? You barely talk to each other, but you and Jaden, there's something there." Her words struck me hard. I didn't have a good response, but deep down, I knew she was right. Nate and I had been drifting for months, and I had ignored it. As we wrapped up the evening with one last toast, Valerie shared some news. "We have an announcement," she said, smiling brightly as she took Jaden's hand. "We're moving to Seattle. Jaden got his dream job." Everyone cheered, but I felt an unexpected tug in my chest. The thought of not seeing Jaden every day at work was unsettling. Nate, noticing my reaction, pulled me aside as we left the rooftop. "Emma, we need to talk," he said seriously. We found a quiet spot away from the crowd. "This isn't working, is it?" he asked, his eyes finally meeting mine. I took a deep breath. "No, it isn't. I think we've been drifting apart for a while." Our conversation was surprisingly calm. We both acknowledged that we had outgrown each other, and though it was painful, there was also a sense of relief in finally addressing it. The following weeks at work were a whirlwind of emotions. I threw myself into projects, trying to push through the heartache of both the breakup and Jaden's upcoming departure. One afternoon, as we reviewed design prototypes, Jaden noticed the shift in my mood. "Everything okay?" he asked, genuine concern in his eyes. I paused before speaking, my voice barely rising above the office hum. "Nate and I broke up," I said quietly, unsure of how it would feel to say the words aloud. Jaden's expression softened immediately. "I'm sorry, Emma, breakups are tough," he said, his voice full of understanding. After a brief pause, he added, "If you ever need to talk, I'm here." His kindness felt like a salve to my hurting heart, and without realizing it, I found myself leaning more on his friendship than I ever expected. As Jaden's moving day drew closer, Valerie threw a farewell party at their favorite brewery. It was packed with friends and colleagues, all celebrating the new chapter they were about to begin. I smiled and laughed along with everyone, but inside, I couldn't shake the sense of loss. At one point, I slipped away to the outdoor patio for some space to gather my thoughts. Jaden found me there, holding 2 glasses of cider. "Penny for your thoughts?" he asked, offering me one of the drinks. I accepted the glass, taking a small sip, just thinking about how much has changed. "It feels like everything is moving so fast," I said, gazing out over the city lights. "The office won't be the same without you." Jaden leaned against the railing beside me, his voice quieter. "Funny how life works, huh? Sometimes the best things come when you least expect them." We chatted about everything and nothing, our favorite movies, old memories, and the future, and I couldn't help but wish we had more time together. As the night came to a close, we shared a tight hug, and I whispered,
Good.
"Seattle's lucky to
How are
have
you?
you." What I didn't know then was that this
My
wouldn't
name is
really be
Paul.
goodbye. 2 weeks later, on an ordinary
Very
Monday
good.
morning, my phone buzzed with a text from an unfamiliar number. "Check your email." Confused, I opened my inbox and found a message from Jaden with the subject, "Plot twist. Seattle job fell through, company had unexpected funding issues. Valerie and I talked it through and decided it wasn't meant to be. She's still moving ahead, but I'm staying. Sometimes the universe has other plans. Coffee later?" I felt my heart race as I typed my reply. Absolutely, universe knows best. The next few months brought even more unexpected changes. Jaden and Valerie amicably ended their relationship, realizing they wanted different things. Through it all, my bond with Jaden only grew stronger. We supported each other through the emotional ups and downs, finding comfort in our friendship. One crisp autumn evening, after a team dinner, Jaden and I walked through the city streets, lit softly by the glow of street lamps. We ended up at a small park we'd discovered on one of our lunch breaks, a peaceful, quiet spot in the middle of the city. "Emma," Jaden started, his voice unusually nervous, "I've been wanting to tell you something for a while now." I turned to him, my heart suddenly beating faster. "What is it?" He took a deep breath. "These past few months, getting to know you better, being there for each other. I've realized that what I feel for you isn't just friendship. I've fallen for you, Emma." His words left me speechless for a moment. Then, finding my voice, I said what I had known deep down for months. "I've fallen for you too, Jaden." His face lit up with relief and joy, and gently, he took my hand in his. "I never expected this when I joined Nexus, but now I can't imagine my life without you in it." Under the canopy of trees, bathed in the soft glow of city lights, we shared our first kiss, tentative at first, but growing more certain with every passing moment. As we walked home hand in hand that night, I marveled at how life had unfolded so unexpectedly. A new job, a chance meeting, a series of moments that didn't seem like coincidences at all. They were the universe guiding us toward each other. 6 months later, Jaden and I returned to that same rooftop jazz bar where it all began. The band played a soulful tune, and the city sparkled below us. Jaden, with a look of nervous excitement, got down on one knee. "Emma," he said, his voice trembling slightly, "you walked into that office a year ago and changed everything. Will you marry me?" Tears of joy filled my eyes as I whispered, "Yes," and the crowd around us erupted into applause. Sometimes, the most beautiful journeys begin with a simple hello in an ordinary office on a day that turns out to be anything but ordinary. My story with Jaden taught me that love often finds us when we're busy making other plans, and that the best plot twists are the ones we never saw coming.